everybody and welcome to the channel Bob Sales this times next year.
Species Flurkin, threat high. It's a cat, not Hannibal Lecter.
Goose is the feisty companion in Captain Marvel movies and the comics. She is no ordinary cat. She's actually deadly but also so fluffy.
She's so fluffy!
Goose is actually an alien creature called a Flurkin. A Flurkin is a highly intelligent alien from Earth 58163. They take shape of a vicious beast from Earth known as the house cat. These creatures are incredibly rare and they reproduce by laying eggs, kinda like the alien scenes. Although it's never clear in the comics or the films if they require a mate to do so. Flurkins can attack enemies and defend themselves with fangs and hidden tentacles, hidden in their cheeks with the aid of pocket dimensions they have inside their cheeks. Pocket dimensions are little bubbles of space and time that allows them to store things. Kinda like the TARDIS, it's bigger on the inside effect. Goose was originally known as Chewie in the comics. She was renamed for the Captain Marvel movies. While we're losing the Star Wars reference in the name and the original name, the Goose is a reference to the Top Gun film and character. So the name's still referring to a film of the same time era. Carol was also known for and is still a pilot, so that also ties into the story. So let's talk origins. Chewie was much more than just a pet in the comics. Chewie first appeared in a giant-sized Mrs. Marvel, issue 1. Chewie was presumed to be a regular cat until they run into Rocket Raccoon. Rocket actually ran into the cat in space and immediately called her out for being a terrifying, rage-murdering species known as the Flurkin. Carol defended Chewie, but Rocket refused to trust the creature and eventually tried to sell her on the black market. It turned out that Rocket was right and Chewie was a Flurkin, the last of her kind. That of course brought some extremely eager buyers just in time for Chewie's babies to start hatching all over Carol's shit, by the way. There was actually 117 in total. Again, it's like the alien scenes with the hatchlings. And as you can see by Chewie or Goose's face, she's really proud of this moment. So in the end, Captain Marvel and the Flurkins actually fought them all off and eventually found a safe planet where the Flurkins were allowed to grow up. And that brings us to the current MCU. Disney and Marvel's Captain Marvel takes place in the 1990s and explores the origin story of the comic book superhero. Now the cat in the movies is CGI for two reasons. One, the actress Brie Larson's allergy to cats. Yes, she may be the mighty Marvel, but she can't defend herself from a bit of hair. The second reason, Goose needed to perform beyond the scope of what is teachable to a real cat. This meant that the VFX team had to create a fully CGI cat. The character has full muscle, fur and skin animation. Scenes actually included Goose in a zero gravity while travelling on a spacecraft, swallowing the Tesseract and fended off enemies with its giant tentacles. Now Goose was actually modelled on a real feline named Reggie. Reggie also appears in certain scenes in the movie. During filming, Reggie was supported by freestanding cats that would take over when Reggie needed a rest. But it was Reggie that the VFX team decided to clone into a CGI cat. Reggie actually had to be LiDAR scanned. The model cat was also built for filming, but it was built without fur. The work on Goose was part of a whopping 2,400 visual effects shots in Captain Marvel. This was shared by over 15 different VFX houses. The film has 70 VFX shots of CGI Goose that had to be blended with scenes from the real Reggie. So that's been the story, let's get to the drop. Goose and the Flurkins drop in waitlist format Saturday the 25th of November, 8 AM PT, which of course is 4 PM UK time. This drop is not blind box. You will need to join each individual waitlist, so please remember to join them all. This price for each drop is going to be 13 gems. They're all FAs, and the first available mint for public sale will be 41. A total of 90 of each rarity will be kept by Veve and the licensed source. All of these editions are listed as interactive, which means it's a click to change the image from egg to cat. Flurkin number 1 is mint in 1,350 editions, and this is classed as a rare variation. Flurkin number 2 is also a rare, and this is also mint in the same edition. Flurkin number 3 is also a rare variation and is also mint in 1,250 editions. Flurkin number 4 is the ultra rare variation, and this one will be mint in 850 editions. Again, Flurkin number 5 is the same deal as the previous one, same rarity, and as I have a black cat, I believe this one is my favourite. Again, Flurkin number 6, same edition size, same rarity. This one is obviously the ultra rare and it's still at 850 editions. Now this is where the drop gets interesting. Edition number 7 is Goose, the secret rare variation. This one's pose switches between cute to tentacle. Now this one is a craft variation and you will need to buy all 6 Flurkins from the store in order to craft the Goose. So no aftermarket purchases in order to craft. Thankfully there is no cost price for this craft and you have till the 9th of December to do this. Also during crafting, none of your collectibles will be burned. All uncrafted gooses will be burned after the crafting date. And if you want to craft more than one, you're more than welcome to, but you will need another complete set brought from the store. If you do choose to go for the craft, you are spending a total of 78 gems. There is 3 rares and 3 ultra rares. Now I say the rares worst case land at 7 gems in the aftermarket. I expect the ultra rares to hit no more than 20 gems each. The black variation will do slightly better in my opinion, maybe 25 gems. So let's keep it as 20 gems for the ultra rares. So if these prices stick and you sold all in the aftermarket, that works out to 80 gems, a slight gain, but a free airdrop. And again, that's if it hits the prices I estimate. Worst case here, I think you may lose 20 gems. I think the airdrop in the aftermarket will be worth 60 to 80 gems, maybe slightly more. Now, as the crafting is a store purchase only, that could affect the aftermarket prices on this one, in a negative way. Also, some people would just try to mint the ultra rares, and in that case, that means not all possible 850 sets can be minted. This could also make the set a little bit rarer. Now, I do think the ultra rares sell out at 850 editions at 13 gems. But after that, the rares will then sit in the store unsold. So from the flipping aspect, I think you've got potential of making a good profit with this one. And from a collecting side, I also think you've got the potential to collect 6 great collectibles for a cheap price and also get a free airdrop to go with it. So I was actually going to be the one person to go for multiple of these anyways, because I really am a cat person. Full disclosure, I don't like Mrs. Marvel. I've never seen the films. I don't particularly go for the comics. I am literally going for this because it's an animated cat, what I'd like to add to my collection. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think to the drop? What do you think to Bob's price predictions? Do you think you're going to gain? Do you think you're going to lose? Do you like the drop? Are you going for the drop? As always, I've been your host, Bob Sales. This time next year, we will be millionaires. Peace!